we're going to talk about how to read the values from the properties file. Till now, we have seen how to read the values from the program arguments and as well as from the VM arguments. Now we are going to talk about the properties file. So here I have created the property files. So property file is a class. So in the property files, the property class, we have the class known as get property. So using this get property, we are going to retrieve the value. So this is the property file I have placed inside this sample project. Here, this is the class part. Here you can see I have set the driver class driver class db.user, db.password, db.employee name, child, and all this values. I set some values. Okay. Now here in this property, I have created the class for it. So um, as it is showing some exception, I have created, I have included it in those, and then I have loaded my property class because I need to set the connection between my property class and the property object, right? So I have used properties.load and file input stream of my properties.properties. Okay, then using we stored the values by using the get property. I have retrieved the values by using properties.get_property and retrieved all those values and stored in the string variables, and use the corresponding values inside the JDBC and stored inside the table known as EMP table. So first of all, I click on it and say run as, I'll say Java, debug as Java application. Okay, so it's going to read the values from the my properties. If you go to the project folder, you can see I have placed my properties inside the sample project, not inside the source or not inside the. So this is not my class path. This is my class path. Okay. So I have placed. You can so you can see this is at the sample project level, not inside the source. Okay, that's the important point to be noted. I'm closing this file, so it's going to read all these values and store in the since it has created the object, as it has created the object, it has used internally, it has used hash table entry. It has read all the values. It has read all the values. So using properties.get property, we are returning the value. So let me click F6 and check for the DRV. We got the value. The same way, let's check the username and password. Yes, we are getting all the values. It's reading all the values from the properties files. Yes, it's reading all the values from the property file. So that's how we can use the properties files and read the values. Okay. So let's say that we have a requirement. We need to store the values. Values we need to hard code the values inside the program and then pass those values to the properties. If that's the case, you need to make use of the. I'm going to comment this one. I'm going to comment everything. So let's say that I commented everything. Let's say that we have. Okay, I have created the property. So here I'm not going to load because I'm not loading from the property file. I need to store the value. So I have set some values. So this is the key and this is the value. And I have used store method. I have used the property.store to store the values. Okay, so this is the property file I need to create. My properties.properties. So this is the file what I need to create, and this is some comments. So let me import all the things. I imported. And now right click on it, say run as Java application. So when I click Java application, it needs to create the file. If it is not present, it needs to create the my project output.property file, and it needs to store these key values, the key and values what we have mentioned here. So right click on it, say run as Java application. Okay, we have commented, we should not comment this. Right click on it, say again run as Java application. It's terminated. So let me right click on the project, say refresh. You can see my properties or properties is created, and it should insert these two values, key and value. Let me open it. So you can see this is the key and this is the value. So it has stored this. So the comment whatever we have added is also got inserted here. The comment whatever we have added here, it got inserted inside the my property file. So this is how we read the values from the property files, or we can store the values by using the store method. Or if at all want to read, we should use load method, and if at all want to write inside the property, we should use lot dot store. If you want to read, we should use properties dot load. If you want to write, we should use properties dot store. Okay, this is about the properties. Okay, so till now we have read reading the values using uh, program arguments. Then we have used VM arguments. Then in the third way we have used property files by using the class known as properties. So we have created the object, and we have used properties dot load the property, read the property values, and then uh, we have used we have created the object, and then what we have done is we have used properties. What first of all we have created the object. How we have created these object is we have created say new properties. Inside these properties, so using these properties, what we have done is we have loaded our property file, what we have placed in the class path, and let's say that this is my property file. Then I have used properties dot get property to read the values. Okay, we have provided the key value here. So that's how we have read all the values, all the required values. So now we are going to talk something much more about properties. Okay, so this is my class file. So this is my class file, and let's say that I have the driver class. This is my driver class. Uh, get connection. So if it's a get connection, I'm going to use second one. We have three overloaded methods. One is string of URL, one is string of URL comma properties. String of URL comma properties. Um, let's have a glance on it. So here, if at all you want to make use of the string URL comma string info, see here. So URL is a database URL of the form, this thing, and info is a list of attribute arbitrary string tag values creates as connection arguments. Normally, at least a user and passport property should be included. Okay, so here what we need to do is, if at all we want to make use of this overloaded method, here it's saying that it needs to use the URL and URL. Okay, and it should make use of the variables, like it should here. So what we need to do is we need to use predefined values. Here we should not change the name of the variables. Here the name of the variable URL should be only URL. We can't say URL name. So here the URL name is fixed. It should be only URL. So whereas the username it is fixed. It should be user. Whereas the password is fixed. It should be only password. So I'm going to make use of the second overloaded method. So it's asking for the string URL. So I'm going to pass URL and property information. So let's say that this is my properties. Let's say this is my properties. I'll place inside this string. Okay, there is some problem. Let me check what is that. String of URL, and next we need to use properties info. Properties info. First one is string. I will use URL. Next is I will use properties. Properties. So first of all, I need to create the object for the properties. So this is my properties. So it's asking me to use try class prop. Okay, I'm going to use it. So properties dot get. You can use set value. Okay, or else you can use get value. Anything is fine, but it should be user. That's for the that's for show. It should be only URL. So you can't change the name. Similarly, so as we don't have that, first of all we need to load. Let's say that this is my so this is my file name and this is my extension. Okay, I'm going to create file with the name db.properties. Finish. Here inside I am going to have the main URL as um, column thing column at the rate localhost column 1521 column xe. Okay, and it should be here the key value is fixed. If at all we need to make use of that overloaded method. Okay, so this is my username. So this is my password. Here we should use only password and a key. And let's say this is my let's say okay. This is my property files. So I'm going to load that one. Okay. Now you can see the error is resolved. In the same way, I'm going to give username and password. So let's check whether it's successfully able to read all those things or not. I'll place my pointer here. So now it has run till here. Let me check whether it has loaded. Okay, it has loaded everything. Yeah, looks everything is loaded perfectly without any problem. Yeah, you can see it has loaded username, password, and URL successfully without any problem. So So you can use this overloaded method known as get connection of the second option if at all you need to make use of the properties for. Okay, this one this one way of using the overloaded method. So that's all for now.